At the age of 75 and beyond, the human body changes in ways that are both predictable and manageable if we respond correctly. For decades, stretching has been recommended as the gold standard for maintaining mobility. While stretching remains beneficial, it is no longer sufficient on its own once we cross this important milestone. Today, I want to share what many seniors are not told. Flexibility without strength is instability, and instability is the true threat to independence. Let us examine the 6 key principles every adult over 75 must understand. Flexibility is important, but after the age of 75, flexibility without strength becomes a serious risk factor rather than a protective strategy. I often see seniors who can stretch their hamstrings or rotate their shoulders comfortably, yet they struggle to rise from a chair or stabilize themselves when they trip. The reason is simple. Stretching improves range of motion, but it does not build the muscular power required to control that motion. As we age, we naturally lose muscle mass, and muscle fibers shrink. This process accelerates after 75, reducing reaction time, balance control, and joint stability. When the hips, thighs, and core muscles weaken, the body cannot correct itself quickly during a sudden shift in position. A small stumble becomes a fall, and a fall at this stage of life can mean fractures, hospitalization, or loss of independence. Strong muscles act like shock absorbers around the joints. They keep the knees aligned, the pelvis stable, and the spine supported. Without strength, even flexible joints become unstable. This is why gentle resistance training is no longer optional. It is essential. Chair squats, wall-supported sits, light resistance bands, and slow step-ups activate the large muscle groups responsible for balance and posture. Even 2 to 3 sessions per week can significantly improve lower body strength and reduce fall risk. The goal is not heavy lifting, but controlled, consistent strengthening that supports everyday movements. When strength supports flexibility, the body becomes stable, responsive, and far less vulnerable to unexpected loss of balance. After the age of 75, bone health becomes one of the most critical determinants of independence and longevity. Many older adults believe that stretching keeps their bones healthy because it keeps them moving. However, stretching lengthens muscles and improves joint mobility, but it does not stimulate the bones to remain dense and strong. Bone is living tissue, and like muscle, it responds to demand. When bones are exposed to gentle, controlled load, they receive a biological signal to maintain or even improve their density. Without that stimulus, bone tissue gradually becomes thinner and more fragile, increasing the risk of fractures, particularly in the hips, spine, and wrists. This condition, commonly associated with aging, makes even minor falls potentially life-altering. Weight-bearing and resistance-based movements are essential because they apply safe, mechanical stress to the skeletal system. This does not mean heavy lifting or intense gym routines. It means simple, structured activities such as standing weight shifts, light resistance band exercises, slow step-ups, wall push-ups, or holding light hand weights while walking. These actions create mild compression and tension within the bone, encouraging it to stay stronger. Even walking, especially on slightly varied surfaces, provides more benefit to bone density than seated stretching ever could. In clinical practice, I emphasize that consistency matters more than intensity. Small, repeated loads performed regularly are far more protective than occasional strenuous effort. The objective is to signal the bones that they are still needed, still used, and still required to support daily life. When proper loading is combined with balanced nutrition and safe movement habits, the skeletal system remains more resilient, reducing fracture risk and preserving confidence and mobility well into advanced age. After the age of 75, balance is no longer something we can assume will remain intact without deliberate practice. Many individuals continue to stretch daily and believe they are maintaining stability, yet they notice increasing unsteadiness when turning, stepping onto a curb, or walking on uneven ground. This occurs because balance is not simply a matter of flexibility. It is a complex neurological skill that involves the coordination of the brain, inner ear, vision, joints, and muscles. With advancing age, reaction time slows, nerve signals travel less efficiently, and the small stabilizing muscles in the ankles and hips become weaker. Without intentional training, these systems gradually lose their precision. When a person stumbles, the body must respond within fractions of a second. Strong hips must activate, the core must stabilize, and the feet must adjust position instantly. Stretching does not train this rapid coordination. Balance exercises, however, directly stimulate the nervous system to improve communication between the brain and body. Simple practices such as standing on one leg while holding a stable surface, performing heeled two-toe, walking along a hallway, slowly shifting weight from one foot to the other, or practicing controlled turning movements can significantly improve stability. Even slow, mindful activities such as tie-inspired movements enhance proprioception, which is the body's awareness of its position in space. Consistency is critical. A few minutes of daily balance training can recondition neural pathways and strengthen the muscles responsible for stability. Over time, these exercises restore confidence in movement, reduce fear of falling, and improve posture. When balance is trained intentionally, the body becomes more responsive, coordinated, and secure during everyday activities such as walking, reaching, and climbing stairs after the age of 75. Joint health becomes a central factor in maintaining independence and comfort in daily life. Many older adults experience stiffness, swelling, or discomfort in the knees, hips, shoulders, and hands, often due to age-related wear of cartilage or long-standing arthritis. Stretching may temporarily ease stiffness by increasing circulation and improving range of motion, but it does not address the deeper issue of joint stability and muscular support. Joints rely heavily on the surrounding muscles to guide movement and absorb stress. When those muscles weaken, the joint surfaces experience greater pressure, leading to irritation and progressive discomfort. Controlled movement is essential because it strengthens the muscles without placing excessive strain on vulnerable tissues. Slow, deliberate exercises teach the body to move within safe ranges while maintaining alignment. For example, performing partial chair squats with careful posture strengthens the quadriceps and gluteal muscles, reducing strain on the knees. Gentle shoulder raises with light resistance improve stability in the shoulder joint, which is particularly prone to degeneration. Even controlled step backs or seated leg extensions contribute to better joint mechanics when done with attention to form and breathing. Movement also nourishes the joint itself. Synovial fluid, which lubricates cartilage, circulates more effectively when joints move regularly under light load. This reduces stiffness and supports smoother motion. The key is consistency and control rather than speed or intensity. Rapid or jerky movements can aggravate fragile joints, whereas slow repetitions encourage strength, coordination, and improved joint tracking. By combining mindful strengthening with regular low-impact activities such as walking or aquatic exercise, individuals over 75 can maintain joint function, reduce discomfort, and support long-term mobility with greater confidence and stability. After the age of 75, cardiovascular health becomes one of the strongest predictors of overall vitality, cognitive clarity, and physical independence. Many older adults focus primarily on flexibility and joint comfort, yet overlook the health of the heart and circulatory system. Stretching may improve mobility, but it does very little to challenge the heart muscle or enhance blood flow efficiency. The heart, like any other muscle, requires regular stimulation to maintain strength and endurance. Without consistent cardiovascular activity, circulation slows, stamina declines. Even simple tasks such as walking across a parking lot or climbing a few stairs can feel exhausting. A healthy cardiovascular system delivers oxygen and nutrients to every tissue in the body, including the brain. Reduced circulation is closely linked with fatigue, slower healing, reduced mental sharpness, and increased risk of chronic disease. Engaging in moderate, controlled aerobic activity improves heart efficiency, supports lung capacity, and enhances overall energy levels. This does not require high-intensity exercise. Brisk walking, stationary cycling, light swimming, or water aerobics performed for 20 to 30 minutes. Most days of the week can significantly strengthen the heart, without placing undue strain on joints. Even interval-style walking, alternating between a comfortable pace and a slightly faster pace, can improve endurance safely. The key is maintaining a level of effort that elevates breathing while still allowing conversation. Regular cardiovascular activity also supports blood pressure regulation, improves balance through better oxygen delivery to muscles, and contributes to emotional well-being. When the heart is strong, daily activities become less tiring and more sustainable. Maintaining cardiovascular fitness after 75 is not about athletic performance, but about preserving stamina, resilience, and the ability to engage confidently in everyday life. After the age of 75, the true objective of exercise shifts from improving appearance or achieving extreme flexibility to preserving the ability to live independently and safely. Many individuals can still touch their toes or perform gentle stretches, yet they struggle with everyday movements such as rising from a low chair, carrying groceries, stepping into a bathtub, or reaching overhead to retrieve an item from a shelf. Flexibility alone does not prepare the body for these real-life demands. The body must be trained in ways that directly reflect daily activities. Functional training focuses on strengthening movement patterns rather than isolated muscles. When a person practices sit-to-stand exercises, they're reinforcing the same motion required to get out of bed or stand up from a dining chair. Step training mimics climbing stairs or stepping onto a curb. Carrying light weights while walking prepares the body for transporting household items safely. Controlled bending and reaching movements teach the hips and spine to work together efficiently, reducing strain and improving coordination. This approach enhances muscle strength, balance, joint stability, and cardiovascular engagement simultaneously. It also retrains the nervous system to respond more effectively to sudden changes in position. Functional movements build confidence because they directly translate into daily competence. Instead of exercising for the sake of exercise, the body is conditioned for living. The emphasis remains on controlled, deliberate motion with proper posture and steady breathing. Repetition performed consistently creates resilience in muscles and connective tissues while protecting vulnerable joints by training for function, rather than simply stretching for flexibility. Older adults reinforce the exact abilities required to maintain independence, reduce fall risk, and move through their environment with greater ease and self-assurance. As we bring this discussion to a close, I want you to remember one essential truth. Aging after 75 is not about limitation. It is about adaptation. The body changes, yes. Muscle mass declines, bone density reduces, balance becomes less automatic, and joints require more care. But none of this means decline is inevitable. It means strategy must change. Stretching still has value. It reduces stiffness, improves circulation, and maintains mobility. But stretching alone is no longer enough to protect you from falls, fractures, weakness, or loss of independence. After 75, the focus must expand. Strength must support flexibility. Load must protect bone. Balance must be trained intentionally. The heart must be conditioned regularly. And movement must reflect real-life activities. The goal is not athletic performance. The goal is confidence. The confidence to rise from a chair without hesitation, to walk steadily without fear, to carry what you need, to climb stairs safely, and to remain self-reliant. That confidence comes from training the body intelligently and consistently. Small, controlled efforts performed several times a week create measurable changes. Muscles respond at any age. Bones respond to safe loading. The brain improves coordination when balance is practiced. The heart grows more efficient with moderate activity. The human body remains adaptable well into advanced years when it is challenged appropriately. Independence is preserved not by avoiding movement, but by choosing the right kind of movement. Strength, stability, endurance, and functional training form the foundation of healthy aging. Your years beyond 75 can be strong, steady, and active. The secret is simple. Move with purpose, train with intention, okay? And build a body that supports the life you want to continue living.